What's up, everyone, and welcome to my 8th episode in the Pokemon Revolution Online Guide. Now, today's episode is going to be a little short because all I'm going to do is run you over to Lavender Town and get the Pokeflute to move Snorlax out of the way so we can head down to Fuchsia City in the next episode. What I'm also going to do is, at the end of this video, I'm going to do a little bit more expanded explanation on IVs and Natures, and I'm going to show you a few examples of what I catch and what I have built up as far as looking for this perfect one, or at least one that's suitable to the Elite Four in Kanto. So, first thing you want to do is, after you've completed everything in Celadon City, you're going to need to go back through the underground passageway like I just did and head back over to Lavender Town, which is the town with the big tower that you weren't able to go into because you didn't have a scope to be able to see the ghosts. And you just got that from Giovanni's room with the EV, so you're good to go on that. Get this out of here. So you just need to walk back over there, and this is a perfect spot to get your Ghastly. And I've told you a few times before, like, you know, your Magikarp, you need to farm up a good Magikarp, and your Bronzor, you need to get a good Bronzor, etc., etc. And I'm going to give a few points in this video on what that means. So by now you should have collected a Bronzor who is of decent quality, a Growlithe who is of decent quality, and a Magikarp. So by now you've kind of started looking at the natures and the IVs of your Pokemon. So at this point in time, you're really going to want to get into high gear on the main Pokemon I'm telling you to collect and getting them to be as good as possible. As you can see, I'm using my Growlithe to get him up to par as much as I can, because he's going to be used for Fuchsia City, most likely, as well as Bronzor, Squirtle, and Magikarp, or I have to work on Magikarp a little bit, but that'll come into play here when I do get a good Ghastly, if I do get a good Ghastly. And I'll be showing a little footage at the end of me catching some Ghastlys and stuff while I talk about the certain IVs and what to look out for, what not to get ever, and stuff like that. So I'm of course going to cut all the trainer fights. I don't want to sit here and bore you with all that. They're very easy, of course, if you're using one of the fire Pokemon I told you to get in the last area. So you should sweep this area no problem. You just need to come up here to get the Pokeflute so you can move Snorlax and get him out of the way. He's ridiculous. So this is the only area I think in Kanto to encounter ghost Pokemon, or at least Haunter and Ghastly. And you want to try to get a Ghastly too. You don't want to try to get a Haunter, because Haunters level up a little slower than Ghastly, and you want to be able to boost their level as fast as possible. So always keep them unevolved. Remember that. Oh, here we go. Here's a Haunter. Awesome. So I'm just going to catch anything I see that's Haunter Ghastly, and it'll go in the PC, but oh man, he just did a lot. Oh wow, he just did a lot of damage. He should not have done that much damage. Wow. That's unfortunate, and that's because he shouldn't have done that much damage to Bronzor, but since my Bronzor has a low, or he has negative SP defense, he gains his SP defense 10% slower than he would whatever other stat he has. And it does do a number, especially in the defenses. You really want to avoid a negative defense. You don't usually ever want a negative defense. That's usually a bad nature. Just all these spinner hack, man. I wish I could just be getting a lot of Ghastlys. It'd save me a lot of time. I can't remember how many Vulpix and Growlithe I caught before I even settled on this Growlithe. And this Growlithe is plus attack minus defense, which I just told you, avoid minus defense. Well, my idea is behind this Growlithe is he's going to be a one-shot. He's plus attack. I'm leveling his EVs, which are the far right stats that slowly go up in each fight. Each fight gives you a different EV. You fight a Rattata, they give you speed. You fight a Spinarak, they give you attack. Each fight will give you a different EV, and you can only get so many EVs, yada yada yada. You train the certain EVs you want to use on that Pokemon, and that your nature is what makes your 10% go up. So So right here is really something confusing because there's just an invisible Marowak you have to fight, which is a quote-unquote trainer, and it's invisible at the bottom of the stairs, which is kind of weird, but he actually does do some really massive damage too, so be careful of that. I had a little stumble with him, but really with IVs and Natures, you just let's say for Bronzor, a perfect nature for him would be probably plus SP attack minus attack, and then hopefully good IVs in his defense because he's a tank, and then same for Squirtle almost, and then Magikarp you'd want like plus attack and minus SP attack, and then really good IVs. Stuff like that. Those would be perfect situations on Pokemon, which of course it's going to take a long time before you find a perfect situation where the natures line up and there's really good IVs. If there's plus 20 in each IV and the nature is perfect on that Pokemon, it's considered an epic Pokemon. So if you ever see that in chat, that's what that means. I actually gotta switch up here. I'm gonna have Bronzor take care of this next fight. Be sure to spread out your experience. My 3 main right now are all around 50. Magikarp's not caught up right now yet because I haven't really had a need for a water Pokemon. You're going to need Gyarados, which once I complete the badges and I'm start readying up for the Elite Four, I'll level Magikarp, or if I need him before then, I'll probably for Blaine, I'll have to get him in order, but I will be soon getting him in order. I just gotta get this Ghastly first and hope I can get one that's just magically amazing. So after you beat all these trainers, you get to talk to this guy. He's not a trainer, he just gives you the Pokeflute, and boom, you're done with this place. You have the Pokeflute, you can move Snorlax, you can catch him if you want. It's a really, it's strenuous, but you can catch him. He does eat a lot of Pokeballs. You're gonna want to get him low and sleep him, but he does snore and stuff, and he heals himself in his sleep. It's awful, but you can catch him if you want him. He's not impossible to catch. So we're gonna do that in the next video. We're gonna show you all the trainers and everything going down there. We'll probably do a Fuchsia City video, and then I'm gonna do a dig spot video for all the dig spots in Kanto, so we can start working towards getting everybody, a good chunk of money towards their bike. Because you need 75,000 in-game dollars to buy a bike voucher, so you don't have to spend any real money or anything like that. And once you do your dig spots, you do get a lot of things like big pearls and stuff like that that sell to just the vendors. The one vendor in Cerulean. And that right there can get you your bike easily. And then you could be riding around on a bike, and it's a lot less of a pain. So I will be making a video on my route I take. Ooh, a Ghastly, awesome. My route that I take around Kanto, so the fastest route, aka to get to all the dig spots and knock them out as fast as possible. I'm gonna grab this Ghastly. Hopefully I'll just get to the PC and one of these Ghastlies will be perfect and I won't have to worry about it. But I doubt that's gonna happen. But we shall see. More Rattatas. So when you're building a Pokemon for Eve, or you're Eve training your Pokemon per se, let's say I wanted to Eve train my Growlithe, which I kind of am and I kind of am. I'm not. You would be focusing on things like he's plus attack, so I'm gonna go start looking for like Ekans and Spinarak and stuff that's gonna give me plus attack, and I'd be training him up in attack until a certain number, and then I'd want to go find something like Tentacool and stuff to gain SP defense. And yes, look at all these Vulpix I caught, and it just goes on. Let's see, neutral, that's awful, minus speed, oh my god, plus speed, oh. And then plus attack minus SP attack. Literally the worst Ghastly. He has good IVs, but he's literally reversed. Well, you really want plus speed on your Ghastly anyway. You really want plus speed and maybe minus attack, minus, something that's not a defense. Probably attack then, but yeah. You're going to want speed because Ghastly, Haunter, Gengar are some of the fastest Pokemon in the game, and what that's going to allow you to do is outspeed some of the Elite Four. Gengar will solo the second Elite Four member because of Levitate. All the ground Pokemon will try to use ground moves on him. They won't be able to hit him. He'll take care of Elite 2 by himself. Elite 3, ooh, no, Ghastly so soon, is a different story. She's really fast. All of her Pokemon are extremely fast. You need to have at least 220 speed before you will be able to outspeed her successfully. And then at that rate, you need a Pokemon strong enough to one-shot each one of her Pokemon so that you don't have to worry about getting hit. Because, of course, you're saving all of your Pokemon for Lance and Gary. But Gengar is necessity, just like Bronzor, just like Growlithe, Vulpix, or Houndour, just like Squirtle, and just like Magikarp, which turns into your Gyarados. They are all essential. You are going to need a very good, and I'm not saying very good by level, but very good by nature and IV. If you want to have a smooth sail through the Elite Four, you're going to have a good-natured Growlithe, a good-natured Magikarp, and good-natured Bronzor, and a good-natured Squirtle, which will all be evolved into their later forms for the Elite Four. We'll be doing the evolves around like 75, and that's about the time you want to get ready for the Elite Four. Some people say 99, 100, and that's for if you're staying in Kanto. If you plan to do all of the extra content after you do the Elite Four, and not, you know, go on straight to Jhoto, which is a lot of what a lot of people want to do. Is they want to go to Jhoto, they want to go to Hoenn, they want to beat everything, and then they want to come back and do all the extra content, which there is loads of extra content, everyone. There is loads. There's so much content that wasn't in the actual games that is in this to explore. You have to have level 100 Pokemon. Sometimes you have to have a membership, the memberships aren't hard to obtain. You can earn them with in-game money. So if you catch like a certain Dratini or something like that that's amazing, like an adamant Dratini with good IVs, you can easily make $150,000 to $200,000 in the game and buy a membership off somebody, no problem. So memberships are never they're not out of reach, nothing like that. So it's pretty good concept there. But other than that, as far as EV training goes, you're going to want to you can only have so many EVs on your Pokemon, so you're going to kind of want to stay to certain things you want to level up. Like, for instance, this Growlithe, I focus on melee attack, which is just regular ATK, and then speed and his defenses. And then you can use berries. There are certain berries that lower your EVs and certain attributes, so that you can kind of even out the playing field and get your EVs back down in certain areas you didn't want them up. Like, let's say he has a bunch of SP attack. Well, he doesn't use any SP attacks because he's a physical attacker, so all those points are useless to him. But you can use berries to reset those and put them in other areas. So EV training is actually pretty essential in your Pokemon's evolution. So that's something to look out for. As well as natures. Like I've said before, natures are hard to touch on because it depends on the Pokemon, but a perfect nature would be for a physical attacking Pokemon, it would be plus attack minus SP attack, and vice versa for a magical attacking monster or something like that. Like, let's say a Growlithe versus a Vulpix. A Vulpix uses a lot of casting abilities, or the blue little circle, and then Growlithe uses a lot of attack abilities. So you would want a plus SP attack Vulpix and a plus attack Growlithe, stuff like that. I can't elaborate on every single Pokemon right now, but what I can tell you is for the ones you want right now, you're gonna want a plus attack Magikarp with probably perfect minus SP attack. Your Growlithe, you're gonna want plus attack minus SP attack. Perfect. Like I said, I'm gonna try it with a Growlithe with negative defense, so you know. Oh man, and there you go right there, ladies and gentlemen. There's your perfect Ghastly. Minus attack plus speed. He doesn't use melee attacks. He's an SP attacker, and the IVs look beautiful. They're not perfect, they're not epic by any means. The speed stat is 9 off being epic, but it is pretty close. That's amazing. Well then, I'm going to go start training that Ghastly up, because that is going to be a great sweeper for the Elite Four. That, my friends, would be a perfect Ghastly. A perfect Ghastly. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you learned a little bit more and you got some more progress done on the main storyline, and have a good day. What's up, everyone? I hope you enjoyed this video. If you like it, go ahead and slap that like button. If you want to see more content from me, go ahead and subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next video, and thanks for all the support.